Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Morning.
It's morning. Okay. Good morning, guys. Ben Lataki here with Production Realty. I'm here with Julie Hackworth.
Good
Hi.
morning, Ben. Good morning, everyone.
And so she was messaging me this morning about that she has 8 pending deals, or
8 pending
7
deals.
because you closed one yesterday.
Correct. Closed one yesterday, but overall 11 buyers of winning, whether it's pending or closed already.
All right, good. So what it got me thinking, and I said, Julia, we got to talk about this. She is really, really good at helping buyers win their bids. And that's been we've talked a lot about it being a seller's market, and that, you're going to see multiple offers and stuff like that. And so if you've got a house to sell, obviously call us. We need those listings. I do think 2018 is going to be one of the best years on record for sellers. But we haven't really talked a lot about all these buyers. Julie had one the other day, about a month ago, where you said there was like 30 showings, 6 or 7 offers.
8 offers.
8 offers.
Yep.
And one winning bid. And what I thought was interesting is that Julie's not having a trouble getting her bids accepted. And it's because of a lot of the things that we've been talking about in the last couple months. We just really haven't talked about it to the consumer, I guess.
Knock on wood. Can you hear me knocking?
Yeah.
So far this year, I've won every single bid.
Yeah,
that I have submitted,
which is incredible. And one of the easy things to do is just bid more money, just offer a higher dollar amount, and that's like the easiest thing to tell a buyer. And but I think that's the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't protect. I mean, the buyers don't want to overpay. We don't want the buyer to overpay for a listing, but we want them to win the home.
Exactly.
So what are some tips that you've kind of used over the years and that are helping you win all these bids?
Yeah, first of all is call the agent. Listen to them. A lot of times they divulge information that you wouldn't know by looking at the listing.
Now you're not talking because the buyer isn't probably going to call the
Correct.
listing agent. You're talking about the buyer's agent.
Yes, myself. I call the listing agent to say, hey, provide me information on this home. Mm-hmm. What's going on? What does the sellers need? Is it something they need more possession? Mm-hmm. So it's important to call them to figure out what is most important for the seller, so that way we can tailor our offer that mimics what they want.
Yeah, I just kind of became aware of this concept that agents are putting bids in on houses with never communicating prior to writing the offer.
That's correct.
And I first heard that about a year ago, and I thought, I can't imagine writing an offer on a house without talking to the other agent. But we are seeing in this
multiple offer
situation, it's a kind of a rushed situation. It's like, okay, let's get in and look at the house, and we like it. Okay, let's write an offer, and that step is getting skipped. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's hard to get a hold of the other realtor or what have you. But I think it's so important to know what the seller needs are. I mean, and sometimes those needs don't really cost the buyer anything.
Exactly. And a lot of times too, I hear you wait a couple of days to see the home and it's gone. So when it comes on the market, you need to see it within that 24 hours, because more than likely there's going to be a bid already on it. Yeah.
So that, I mean, make sure you have a local realtor who
willing to hop on it quickly,
is ready to rock and roll when it hits the market. And you just sent a buyer to Battle Creek realtor, and that's what I said this morning. I said, it's, she's already writing an offer.
Yep.
Because that agent probably was more on top of the pulse of that market
mm-hmm.
than we could be, because it's the town over.
Yep, we don't have the access to it, so mm-hmm. It makes more sense to give her a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm. All right, what else?
So the other thing is the escalation clause. So a lot of buyers are unaware of it. So you can put in a good offer, but doesn't have to be your max. So for example, let's say the home is priced at $100,000. You can put in $100,000, put $101,000, doesn't matter. But what are you willing to really pay for that, but not necessarily overpay because you just want the house? So the escalation clause is that you can put a cap. For example, here's my offer at $100,000, but I'm willing to go pay for this home up to $150,000. And then you are saying that whatever the highest offer is that's submitted, you're willing to pay $2,000 higher or 1,000, whatever you want to do. You want to make it something that's substantial, so that way the sellers can say, "Oh, I'm getting some more money," and then just put that cap. So that way you're not overspending based on your budget.
Yeah, so escalation clauses are kind of a new thing in the industry. There's some risk there, There's some, but we've done a pretty good job of coming up with a good verbiage for that offer. So buyers, I think, when they first hear about an escalation clause, they just think, well, if I tell them I want to pay up to 150, they're just gonna soak me for 150.
Yeah.
And we've got some pretty creative ways to make sure that doesn't happen. That you're only going to pay a couple grand more than the highest bid that comes in. So you put your bid in at 100, somebody else bids 105. We're going to lock in at 107.
And then our due diligence is, as an agent, get that verified offer. Make sure it's legit. So that way you're not overpaying. So we want to make sure that we have that extra step so you feel like you're not being taken.
Sure. Then there's another thing that, so you've talked about possession.
Yep. So also terms. I know, for example, conventional versus FHA. As a seller, they're going to want conventional because there's not that extra inspection.
Yeah.
So really, there's a lot of loan types, and it's really not that much difference down. You can get a conventional at 3%. I've seen it as low as.
Yep.
Typically, it's at 5%, but I have seen it. And with the FHA, it's 3.5. So if you can go conventional, I suggest doing that because it's going to help you win bids.
Yeah. So my buddy Bob Yapko, shout out to Bob from Chelsea if he's watching. He stopped in the office the other day, and he that was kind of his thing. He's like, I'm pushing buyers to switch from 3% FHA. He said he's got a 3% conventional. So 3.5% FHA. So he says FHA is still a great product, better rates than this conventional. But if you keep losing offers, you've put in a bid 2-3 times, you've lost the home, and then you switch to conventional, you might pay a little bit higher interest rate on the mortgage, but you have maybe a slightly better chance of winning the bid without having to overpay. I mean, that's the thing. How do you win bids but yet not overpay?
Sure.
The other thing that James Mayhew, another lender buddy of mine, we were talking the other day, and he had a really cool idea about the buyer paying for a rush appraisal. So the buyer this is kind of the new thing I was thinking about, is the buyer could opt $100, $150, something like that, he said, to pay for a rush appraisal, meaning the seller is going to get the offer and go, okay, these two offers are real similar, but this one said this guy is willing to have the appraisal done within 2 weeks.
Which is great if the home is vacant. Yeah.
And so this one over here has no timeline for the appraisal. The appraisal could be 4 weeks down the road before we know if it's going to appraise, especially if it's this bidding war. And we see this all the time where things are getting bid up, and is it going to appraise?
Exactly.
It's still got to appraise to be able to get financed. And so I thought that was a really cool way, because there's not a lot of $100 things you can throw in your offer to make your offer that much better than the competition.
Yep, exactly.
To raise your price by $100, I mean, nobody cares about that. But to be willing to do the appraisal fast and your home inspections fast, and like you said, verify with the listing agent if they either want to close soon or they want to delay the closing because they're trying to find their next house, or possession after. All those little facts
make a huge difference.
So she's doing a great job, guys. If you need a buyer's agent, a buyer's rep to help you win bids, give us a call. We're right here willing to help.
Love to help you.
So, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, always post them here. We'll try and answer them later. And like our page, share this with your friends.
See you guys.
Happy Thursday. Bye, guys.